So I wanted to talk about the higher realms, the higher worlds, and I wanted to first touch base upon and talk about the highest first hierarchy, and this describes the three hierarchies in the higher realms, and these three hierarchies, each consisting of three ranks. So the first hierarchy is the highest and closest to the divine source, and that is the Sephirim. Spirits called Spirits of Love represents the highest expression of divine love, exists in direct union with Godhead, radiate creative warmth and will into the cosmos. The Sephirim do not think like we do, right? So they don't have that human programs that we have. So they emanate pure divine love, and through this love, the entire cosmic systems are set into motion. Their activity is beyond time and space as we experience it. So the cherubim is the second one, and they're the spirits of harmony. So they're called the spirits of harmony, bearers of cosmic wisdom, and they shape the grand archetypical patterns of creation. If the Sephirim radiate love, cherubim radiate like harmonized wisdom, they give structure and meaning to what love initiates. So the third is the throne, spirit of will, called spirits of will, manifest divine will into substance, responsible for foundation acts of cosmic creation, and that's during ancient old Saturn stage of evolution of primordial condition of existence. The thrones sacrifice their own substance to create the first rudiments of the physical world. Sorry, I pronounced that wrong. So the three hierarchies overview. So you have the Sephirim love, cherubim harmony, wisdom, and thrones will. So the second hierarchy, dominion, spirits of wisdom, virtues, spirits of motion, and powers, spirits of form. Third hierarchy, we have the archai, spirits of personality, the archangels, and the angels. The higher realms in cosmology is the physical world, the etheric world, the astral world, the Devachanic spiritual world. So it's all a mouth, like freaking pronunciation and all a bit too much for the mouth at times and the tongue. But I'm sure you have an understanding of that. So, so the Devachanic, spiritual world, lower Devanchan, higher Devanchan. The Sephirim operate far beyond the Devachanic realms at the level associates with the divine trinity itself. And the spiritual development gradually awakens perception of these higher realms, but the first hierarchy remains accessible only through very advanced spiritual consciousness. Hi, so I wanted to further deepen our conversation about the Seraphim and connecting that with the Kabbalah. So, because it's such a beautiful framework, and it really does connect with the, the first hierarchy with the Sephirim, the cherubim, and the thrones into a Kabbalistic framework. So that's what I just wanted to elucidate on. So we're moving to this. So the first one is the infinite source. Okay, the second is the first emanations, and the third, the Sephirim and the supernal Sephirot. The fourth is the fire of love and the world of absolute. And the fifth is humanity's role in both systems. Okay. The infinite source, Ein Sof, which is the infinite, unknowable divine essence, beyond attributes, beyond thought, beyond form. The first emanation is Keter, that's the crown, that's a pure divine will, pre-conscious intention, and the first point of emanation. So now notice something remarkable. The highest beings are not thinking, but are pure will infused with love. Keter in the Kabbalah is often described as Ratzon, which is the primordial will. Okay, this like kind of mirrors the level of the thrones of spirits will, that we first learned with cosmology. So, the supernal triangle and the first hierarchy is the top three Sephirot. So Keter, will, Chokmah, wisdom, Binah is the understanding, and this aligns them structurally all together. So the thrones of Keter, divine will, which represent Keter, so initiates animation, pure divine intentionally, the origin of manifestation and will before structure. So the cherubim Chokmah is wisdom. Chokmah, cherubim, spirits of harmony and wisdom. Chokmah, flash of divine wisdom. Chokmah is often described as a lightning, the insight. Sorry. You okay out there? Oh, you're just playing? Okay, with the dog. The Sephirim Binah is the great mother. So, but in like a deeper structural reading, the Sephirum's activity of radiant self-giving love mirrors Binar's role as the womb of form, the great sea, the matrix that gives shape to wisdom. So Binar receives Chokmah and gives structure through understanding, much like love shaping wisdom into reality. However, and this is important, the seraphims are actually beyond the triad in a sense. They correspond mostly to the absolute level itself. So the world of absolute, absolute animation, Baraya creation, Yetzirah formation, and Messiah action. Absolute, the world where there is no separation between God and attributes. The Sephirot are still unified. Love and wisdom are not yet divided, and Sephirim belong here in the absolute. Love is substance, light is being, will is reality. This is the description of the divine worlds beyond Devachan. Okay, so we're just combining the two there. The fire of Sephirim and the fire of Sephirim and Jevarah. Now, let's bring in another dimension. Okay, so the word Sephirah in Hebrew comes from the word to burn, right? So to burn is to consume. This burning, where did we have that before? I was going to touch base on that. Like it's kind of like a yearning, like a deep yearning. Okay, so okay, I'm just going to look that up for a second because I retain a lot of knowledge, but there are just some things obviously I need to check up on. So okay, so I'm going to look up this meaning. Hopefully I can find it. Sorry, it's taking me. Okay. In Kabbalah, there are 4 elements and soul roots. Fire is passion and ascent. Okay, so that's what I was kind of looking for, is the meaning of the word, the elements, okay, with the fire. Okay, so we found this. Water is a loving flow, air is a balance, and earth is stability. The Sephirim are fire-dominant beings. They embody yearning without satisfaction, love without self-interest, praise without fatigue. Their cry of Kadosh is not speech, it is vibration. So let's talk about the throne and the Sephirim. So the throne corresponds to Binar. It is the supernal mother, the womb of structure, the root of judgment. The seraphim stand above the throne because fire precedes structure, longing precedes form. First comes yearning for the infinite, then comes the action, the articulation, should I say, instead of action. So the human parallel with this is the seraphim are not distant mythology. They correspond to the level in the human soul called nefesh, or Devarah, refined. When a person experiences intense awe, burning love for the Hashem, trembling in prayer, they are touching seraphic consciousness. The Baal Shem Tov taught that true prayer contains fire. Without fire, words do not ascend. So that's a really deep meaning. That is deep, because without fire in your prayer and in your connection, it's not going to ascend. It's not going to manifest if there is no fire without that in your spirit, in your prayer. It has to be very from, that deep yearning. Okay.